Hi, my name is Hunter Morris, VP of Product Strategy and Marketing at Boogie. I'd like to thank the Toy Association for including me in this program. I know I'm in good company and I'm excited to be here. For those new to the company, Boogie Board is a consumer brand company that makes reusable writing and creativity products that promote sustainability, reusability, and a clutter-free environment. Within Boogie Board, we have a robust collection of kids' products, toys that are mess-free, screen-free, and all include our patented liquid crystal display technology, also known as an LCD. This is at the core of all of our products, specifically our kids' products, what we'll be talking about today. What we're talking about today is the need for brands to constantly refresh and update their product offering, and how innovating around a core competency and a core technology can be exactly what a brand needs. And also for brands that are resource constrained and need to be as resourceful as possible, it really can be an effective way to constantly update and keep refreshing things without starting from scratch and starting new every time you need to put a product in the market. Today, we'll be leaning on the key learnings that I've had over the 14 years working at Boogie Board in ways that we have been able to innovate and keep iterating on the core technology that we have, and ways that it might apply to you and other brands that are needing to be resource efficient and work with the team that they have and the time that they have to be able to put something in the market that is meaningful and necessary. I think the most important thing is to look at how consumers are using your products and recognize where you might have some issues with either the core technology or the product itself, and where there might be some easy fixes and easy things to change and adjust and optimize. So as we started to get into toys in the kids market, we started to look at other referencing products, nostalgic products, things that have resonated over the years with kids. And one thing we realized is that what's really important to kids products is coloring. So while our core technology used a black screen and green writing, we recognized, hey, it would be really, really fun if we could work some color into this technology. Now, that's really easy for me to say as an industrial designer, but really difficult in the lab to create a liquid crystal display technology that now incorporates colored writing. So working within our team, but our core competencies, research and development and engineering, with sort of looking at market examples like scratch art. Scratch art was an example. We were looking at something where you remove the black and reveal sort of colored writing. So we found a way to conceptualize how that colored writing might look. And within the lab, we were able to create the same type of black background in our display technology with now a colored writing. This innovation led to us being able to develop an ingredient brand in Colorburst. Colorburst is a writing solution that's now found, and a tech that's found in lots of our different product offerings, specifically in our toy products. This allows us to build on and expand on that innovation, which really was around our core technology, in a way that now has expanded for years and years. And it still lives on today in many of our products. So while sometimes we come to these conclusions or these solutions from a market need, or we see an opportunity in the market, what's amazing about certainly our core competencies is our ability to work with research and development and engineering to develop the best possible solution, not just for what's in the market, but also for our manufacturing process. So it really comes down to optimizing the way that we do things and making it match what the need is in the market. And so Colorburst is a great example of taking those two elements. Here's the market need. We need color. We need to be able to do this, but it also needs to be able to work within our process. So the brilliant engineers and the scientists in our building are able to partner with us and say, how do we put out the best solution that's manufacturable, cost effective, and super efficient? Next, we're going to talk about finding new use cases. A lot of times we need to look into the market about what problems we may be able to solve, as opposed to just making stuff to make stuff. The best solutions oftentimes are solving some kind of problem, and using your core technology or your core competencies to solve those problems is the best case scenario. One of our best examples of solving a problem was actually looking at different situations. So I happen to be an industrial designer with 4 kids. And so during about the pandemic time, tried out a lot of different things and used my kids as examples. I took a boogie board and I clipped it on my son's backpack. What I realized was looking at his backpack, first of all, he had lots of stuff clipped on there. And I thought, what if a boogie board were clipped on there? What I also started to realize was how much time he was spending on the bus pre-pandemic. Doing a little bit of research, the average consumer or average child spends 45 minutes a day on the bus. To me, that seems like a lot of time for a little kid to get into either trouble or hopefully not already be on a screen. So we thought maybe a great solution would be taking our boogie board, make it super clippable and super fun. Again, it's just using our core technology, but applying it to a different place with a different use and sort of solving a problem. It became a really fun way to use our product. Now kids could take it on the bus, play tic-tac-toe, play games, and just interact in a different way that's mess-free and screen-free and fun. And so the interesting part about Sketch Pals was we really were not changing the inside, the tech, the core tech at all. This was going back to our roots with the black screen and the green writing and actually optimizing that, making it super bright writing. What we were changing is the outer case. And so we started to explore different materials and how could we make this fun with different characters. And so the really fun part about Sketch Pals for us was we don't have to change that module, that technology at all. We can wrap it with different things that now allows us to adapt to different interests, different users. If you're into unicorns or dinosaurs or sports, we can now change that outer case to be more playful and fun. And I think we started to explore different materials. So the super soft nature of silicone became really attractive to us, and also looking at other kids products in this space, a very typical material to see. So it became durable, soft, fun, easy to play with, and just great for the kids in a bus or on the go environment or travel environment where it could easily be cleaned. So over the years, we iterated on our core technology in many different ways. We found many different applications that were really amazing. The difference is with this new view of our core technology and saying how do we apply this to different places and looking for those opportunities, it has completely changed the game for our business. And I think it could happen to you too. Many brands should look at their core competencies and say, how can we apply this to different places? For Sketch Pals, for us, it was finding the right age group in the right space where they needed this type of solution, and also allowed us to adapt. So a really important part about Sketch Pals is our ability to adapt to consumers, also different retailers, different markets. We have a global market, and so this really has allowed us to address an international audience with subject matter that they appreciate, and just as the same as our neighborhood toy store or any other location or region in North America. So while all of our products are great for kids to work on their fine motor skills, one thing that's unique about the Sketch Pals is that it has expanded our world into much more imaginative play. So now we're working with characters and how those interact together, and also somewhat of a collectible. So now child can enjoy one character, come back and get another. They can have some imaginative play and play together. And that's really unique to our product line and the way that we've evolved our business and our company. So we had this hypothesis about this use case. And once we validated that and proved that there was something to this use model, we were able to optimize and focus our attention on manufacturing and how do we make this product more streamlined and get quicker to market. Because the important part is being able to optimize it and get to market quicker. So use model was super important to driving the business opportunity. Now let's take it up another level. Next, we're going to talk about being choiceful with trends. How do you find the right trends that are a great fit for your brand and your company? One of the challenges of trends is that not all trends are a good match for your brand or your technology or your core competencies in your company. So what we found is that for our company, our lead times, our development times might be longer than some others where you can adapt much quicker to trends. So we tend to lean on the ones that have the most staying power. So for instance, reusability and sustainability for us are trends that have a lot more staying power and ones that we can work toward. If we're talking about subject matter or content, that is also something that we tend to lean on, something that has a little bit more staying power. Some brands are able to adapt with the latest license or the latest popular movie. For us, that becomes a bigger challenge. So I think it's knowing your capabilities, knowing your competencies to know whether you should chase those or not is really, really key and important to your success. We've had times in the past where we tried to chase sort of the latest license or the latest movie, and it becomes very, very challenging. The speed to market is challenging, so it's how do you get that out there and make sure that it's relevant by the time you are ready to go to market, or should you choose a trend that has the staying power for you to be able to ride that for as long as you can, but also staying current and trendy. What trends have worked best for Boogie Board is identifying what previously was a trend and has now turned into a changed user behavior. For instance, reusability and sustainability, what started as kind of a trend, has really become what people expect out of their products and their solutions. For instance, early buyer conversations with retailers, often we would talk about reusability and they weren't necessarily looking for it. Now it's the first topic on our list of messaging points when we are on a call with a buyer. One time where we tried to pursue a trend that really didn't work for us was early in the early stages of launching our Magic Sketch product. We were really trying to establish the market and how the product was used, the use case. It involved some templating that had games and activities, and we were a little too quick to switch to licensed content that may or may not have been the best timing for us to try to unveil that to the market. And so we fell into a little bit of the trap of trying to take something that's a hot trend in the market, apply it to something that was a little early in our development, and it just didn't kind of work out so well. So what we found over time is developing that product out a little bit more, that core competency out a little bit more, and then applying characters later on or a license later on, we think will be a great fit. But too early in the stages of product development can be a challenge. One example of a trend that really worked for us, specifically within the Magic Sketch product line, is seeing a resurgence in the trend in glow in the dark. So now, while glow in the dark is fun for kids and new for kids, there's a little bit of nostalgia for parents as well. And it seemed to be just a great fit for our technology to marry the mess-free, screen-free environment with glow in the dark. I think one thing teams need to do is understand the framework or the guardrails within their team and their capabilities to address trends. If you don't have the ability to constantly address the latest TikTok video or the latest trend that is happening on a daily basis, you need to understand which ones rise to the top and the ones you should address. Some ways that we like to do that is kind of validate in the market. Are there products already in the market that are addressing this need? And if so, that's probably an investment in the fact that this trend is going to be around for a long time. A daily trend is really tough to adapt to. Some companies are able to do that, but know your limits and know your core competencies and how you can address those trends quickly. And I think quickly you develop a little bit of a cadence around what you can do and what you can't do. So the question is, how do we identify the trends that are best for our brand or our company? I think there are certainly pop culture trends, there are music trends, there's movie trends, there's lots of different color trends, and how do you set up guardrails within your team or your capabilities to know which ones you should address? I think it's a challenge to not chase the latest daily social media trend. I think it's a challenge to not chase everything that you see, but knowing which ones are best for you is the best path. I think the key to identifying trends out in the world is having eyes open. Honestly, it's being at a soccer game and looking around at kids that are playing and keeping themselves busy, or in a doctor's office looking at moms trying to help keep their kids busy or dads. I think when you're traveling, pay attention when kids are at the beach. How are they playing? What are they into? Hopefully, not always just staring at a screen. What are the things they're doing outside of that? But also just observe color trends and clothes and all of those things when you're in the store, or especially if you are able to travel internationally. What are the differences? It helps identify actually and focus even domestically on what the difference is here. So it's really just having eyes wide open to exactly everything that's around you and just observing, for the most part, is the best way to identify trends. Next, we're talking about how to be inspired by non-toy applications and how that can influence your actual toy solutions. So at Boogie Board, we have the benefit of having our core technology used in other spaces that are not toy related. Not every company has a tech services division, but within our building, we're able to look at how our technology is used in aviation, automotive, apparel. And then we're able to kind of look at that and say, how do we apply that to the toy market? What could be the next wearable kids product? What could be our, a writable bracelet or whatever that is apparel driven, or maybe it's something in a gaming industry that we've not yet thought of because we're looking at a different type of solution in our technical services division. Aviation could drive all kinds of kids products, so maybe there's some correlation between the way um, actual aviation is using it and the way the kids might explore that in their imaginative play. Some other ways you can broaden your lens in terms of non-toy applications are to go visit different types of factories or different manufacturing process that might inspire the way that something could be put together and assembled into a toy. It could be visiting different industries or different retail stores that are not toy related. Go to an electronics store, go to a home organization store, and you'll find all of a sudden some inspiration that might be related to toys and kids. So I think there's lots of ways to inspire that innovation. And I think one of which for us tends to be a lot of manufacturing. So we'll look at different types of manufacturing applications, and that can inspire a new way to convert things into a kid's product. One example of non-toy industry where we've been able to apply things that we've learned in those spaces back to toy is honestly looking at places where kids are using technology or using our products, and that's in education in schools. We also see it in hospitals and in situations like that we can then look at and observe how kids are using our products and apply that back into our toy products. The last thing we're going to talk about today is protecting your core competency and your core technology. Obviously, you want to go in, be as vigilant as possible about protecting your intellectual property, doing all of the patented things, and protecting yourself as much as possible. But I think what's most important is being vocal about what sets your brand apart, what sets your technology apart from the competition. I think it's not unique to Boogie Board. Lots of us deal with being a leader in a category. You're going to have followers who are trying to duplicate and trying to do the same thing that you're doing. And so I think it's important to communicate outward, make the right partnerships with retailers and store owners and all of those things, and communicate why they should invest in your brand and invest in your technology, and really have the quality standards and have all of those things that require that type of attention. And then I think lastly, what's really important, almost most important, is to stay ahead of it. Keep innovating, keep pushing. It's very hard. They can keep copying, but I think if you're the one pushing and continuing to be a leader, your brand will prevail. But I think, as an industry, we need to work together on how best to address this. I think this is not something that's going to go away anytime soon, but, there's no clean way, no easy way to address copycats. And, we know that it's going to keep happening, especially if you're doing something relevant. So, I think it's important to stay on top of it and talk to the community about how best to address it. One thing Boogie Board's doing to combat the copycats is we're developing a swap program right now where, we want people to experience the best version of our technology, and we believe that that's our technology. So we're asking consumers, hey, if you bought a dupe product and you weren't even aware you were buying one, we'd love you to send it back. We'll send you a new one. And so this is a new program that allows us to get the right technology in people's hands so that they can experience it in the best way possible. At Boogie Board, we find that the best way to defend our core technology is really to come at it from a few different angles. You have to have your messaging correct in terms of your outward-facing communication about what sets your brand apart, what sets your core technology apart. In our case, we have an authenticity seal. So we say, look for the scribble to make sure that you're getting our product and our technology. In the background, we have to really deliver on that promise. It has to exceed quality expectations. The rigorous testing that we put our products through, you have to make sure you're continuing to do that so that you're delivering on your promise with the product. So these are the things that are working for Boogie Board, but we'd love to hear from you too in the way that you're addressing these issues. We know this is an industry-wide issue, so we would love to hear from you. To quickly recap, your company has something that no one else has. And to iterate and innovate around your core technology and your core competency can unlock all new growth potential. This is what's worked for Boogie Board, and we hope that it works for you.